welcome to the Better Together as One podcast and TV show. My name's Margaret Wallis-Duffy, and I am super excited to be here to kick off our new show. Alongside my previous co-host from Let's Just Do This, Mr. Todd Miller, and our new co-host, Claire Gavin. How are you guys?
Excellent. Very good.
Really well.
Excellent. Well, we are so excited to kick off our new show, and what better way to do that than to bring on someone who I have a great deal of respect for and who leads the city by which my clinic has operated in for 28 years. What an honor to have Mayor Patrick Brown with us. Welcome, Mayor Brown.
Well, Margaret Wallis-Duffy, you're a legend in Brampton, and thank you for the opportunity to join you today. I have to say, not only am I a fan of your Better Together work and how healthcare is so critical, I also have to say that anytime I have back pain, I also come to visit you. So you are someone that I have admired on a professional level, but also someone that I can say firsthand does incredible things. And so thank you for your devotion to Brampton. And one of the reasons I'm such a fan of Better Together is, I think of the City of Brampton. And when the City of Brampton is working well, it's because everyone is chipping in. It's sort of like a car. If only two of the wheels are working, you're not going to go as smoothly and as fast and as efficiently as that car could. And the city's the same way. You need 1,000 people to chip in different ways to really get the city moving and being effective for the community. But healthcare is similar. There are so many different aspects of healthcare, and it needs to be more synchronized. And I think what you're understanding is that there is a preventative aspect, there is a mental health aspect, there is, there are so many things that affect your well-being, so many touch points that can, if dealt with properly, you're not going to end up in the hospital. Frankly, the hospital should be the last resort, and it's why ever since you've been talking about getting ahead of the curve, upstream healthcare, I've been a big fan of the work that you do with Better Together.
Well, thank you so much. And one of the things that I love and I really want to touch on is your style of leadership, Mayor Brown, is unique in that, yes, of course, you're looking at things like economic development and keeping our community safe, but you also are really big on grassroots dealing with the people, opening up the walls and the doors of City Hall to welcome in residents. And when I think about businesses and government and all of us working better together, why is that so important to you on a personal level to lead in that way?
Well, I do think a city should be grassroots. The worst case you can ever have for a country or a city is where people feel detached from their community. The most beautiful democracies are when there isn't apathy or where people are engaged. And if you want to see Brampton successful, you want people to realize that they can make a difference, that their ideas count, that their involvement counts and has merit. And so from a political perspective, I believe it's in Brampton's best interest to be transparent, to be open, and to welcome residents to participate in their city. What I find when you do that, I think right now we're looking at the lens of COVID. When you let people contribute, they contribute. And we're seeing that through the generosity of the residents right now. If you look at whether it's donations to the hospital, donations to long-term care facilities, acts of gratitude to first responders, frontline workers, people inherently are good at heart. And I see in Brampton, when you let people participate, you encourage platforms in which they can be engaged, you see beautiful examples of kindness. And that's why I'm a big believer of grassroots engagement, because sometimes people want to help out, they just don't know how to. And I think that's applicable for what you're talking about with Better Together. I think everyone cares about their own health, and if you give them an opportunity to take care of their own health and make it easy, then everyone would jump at that. The challenge is things can be so complicated. Government is complicated, and the most complicated aspect of government, the most convoluted bureaucratic aspect of government is probably healthcare.
Now, Todd, I know you wanted to ask something, because here on Better Together is when we want to get to know the people that we're interviewing. So you've got a question for Mayor Brown.
Speaking of health, Mayor Brown, how do you personally stay positive and put a focus on your health when much of the news that we're hearing is unfortunately negative these days?
Well, first of all, I should let everyone know who's wondering, watching at home. I'm not driving myself. We've been doing a few drop-offs in the city today, from Knight's Table to the hospital, and so I'm sort of always on the go. So unfortunately, I spend too much time in cars, even during the pandemic. But in terms of how I keep positive, I think you're right. Sometimes the news cycle likes to focus on the salacious, the negative, and so you can't be overly focused on what is the hot story of the day, because beneath that hot story there are so many other examples of kindness in our country and in our community. But an act of someone doing something beautiful is not necessarily a hot story. So my personal life, where I get joy, is waking up in the morning and being able to hang out with my little guy Theodore, who's almost 10 months old. Spending time with family is something that I find relaxing, and frankly, getting some exercise. I have to say, I love hockey, I love tennis, I love running, and if I can get an hour of exercise a day, as long as my wife lets me, I feel whatever stress I have is removed.
Well, I know your wife, and Gigi would encourage you to exercise, Mayor Brown. So that's a good thing. And Claire, you wanted to ask and maybe give a shout out to Mayor Brown's 106-year-old.
Oh, congratulations. Yes. Well, I think you sort of just summarized it there. My question was going to be, first of all, congratulations on your little guy, Theo. Love that name. And the question was really going to be, how are you guys doing this, now with a little one, and you're sort of isolated, and, there's not the moms groups or the baby groups or, any of that. How are you guys managing with sort of being in an isolated situation?
Well, my wife has read about absolutely everything to do with becoming a parent. So in terms of being prepared and well-researched, she's one of those people that was already reading books when she was 3 months pregnant. She's a bit of a perfectionist that way. But we do have, I've got sisters with kids. Genevieve's got an older sister who's got a son as well. And we have parents that are very active. My mother and Genevieve's mother are very helpful and supportive. And so, having a strong family makes that support network that much, it makes things easier, and so we benefit from that. But being a parent for the first time is always a learning curve, and we're learning things all the time.
Well, congratulations! You're doing a great job.
So I just want to, on the behalf of our Better Together as One team, having you as our inaugural guest has been such a pleasure. We really hope that you'll come back. We have Councillor Whillans coming on the show to talk about the Community Backyard Gardens program. We just want to thank you. We know how busy you are, and we truly appreciate the fact that you're behind this Better Together as One movement. So stay safe and stay well.
Anytime, and I promise next time we do this interview, I will not be in a car. I will make sure I've got Genevieve and Theodore with me, and we'll be at home.
I love it, but you're out doing great things. So stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon. Hey everyone, welcome back to Better Together as One, the podcast and TV show. And I am really excited to have somebody with us right now that I admire, that I respect, and quite frankly, I share a birth date with. Councillor Doug Whillans from the City of Brampton. Welcome, my friend, to the show.
Thanks for having us, Margaret. It's fantastic to be here. I've been a big admirer of yours since I got to know you a number of years ago. You did great work in our community, and we're glad to have you in Brampton.
Well, thank you so much. And, we're glad not only to have you in Brampton, but to have you lead the way, showing other communities what it can mean to come better together as one. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today during this time of difficulty, which is COVID, this incredible program that you started, the Community Backyard Garden Project. Can you tell us about that and how you came up with this idea?
Well, when we were, I guess it was March 13th, I believe it was, when we were told we couldn't be coming back to City Hall on the 16th, on the following Monday, I knew right away that there'd be some difficulties with our community gardens. Our community gardens, there's 2 or 3 in particular that give back 100% of their proceeds go back. The produce goes back to the community, goes back to Regeneration, Ted Brown's group, goes to the Knights Table. It goes for food security in Brampton for the ones that, the people that can't afford fresh vegetables and fruits. So I thought about it for a minute, and then I had a conversation with the mayor. I said, wouldn't it be cool if we got a backyard garden program, promote it? Let's see if the city, our staff can do it first off. And I thought we'd get about 200 or 300 families sign up. And the mayor said, let's push that to 1,000. So I talked to our director of Parks and Recreation, Rob Gaspard, who's fantastic. His staff, I can't say enough about them. They were fantastic. They said they can do 1,000. So by 24 hours later, we are over 1,000. By the weekend, we were at 5,000. And by the Monday, we were at 6,000. And now we're at over 14,000, and we have 8,000 on the waiting list.
Unbelievable.
So it kind of exploded.
Yeah, kind of. Good ideas often do. Now, tell everyone what you're doing. I mean, the city is literally giving seeds and soil to help people. And I love this because not only are we helping those in need and in terms of food security, but we're also encouraging people to be active and healthy in their own communities and to be able to create good food which sustains them. Is that correct? They're giving food or giving soil and seeds?
Yeah, we started off, we're giving a yard, up to a yard of soil. If people want less, obviously people that are just doing container gardening don't need a whole lot. So we'll be doing bags, delivery of bag soil. So it was soil to get out first. The logistics of that is more difficult than just getting the seeds out. So we started with that first. It's been a great response, and then we are following up with seeds for them to grow their own vegetables. But it's been good. I think a part of it was, like you said, Margaret, was to get the people outdoors, get them getting healthy, because a lot of people at these times the kids are plopped in front of the computers or plopped in front of the TV. So it's a good way to get them outside, especially with the young ones. I know when my kids were young, they used to love planting the seeds and then sit by the garden waiting for it to grow. So it's a good initiative, and it's interesting. Today I got an article from a friend of mine in Oakville. She's the environmental staff member on the City of Oakville, and she sent me an article that was actually just written from Princeton University. They did a study about just under 400 people, and they said that the gardening, outdoor gardening and backyard gardening is quite often overlooked as one of the things that the policymakers are doing around them. And they talk about active transportation, they talk about cycling, but they overlook things around your own home. So they policymakers should be maybe implementing that. So it came along at a good timing, actually.
Oh, and I love this. And we talked about this with Mayor Brown about how people want to help. And that's what this show is about. Better together as one. Everyone wants to play a role. And bravo to you, Councillor Whillans, for giving an opportunity for everyday people to contribute and to give back and to help their communities. I know, Claire, you had something you wanted to ask.
Yeah, well, you spoke sort of briefly about it, just with the kids getting involved and stuff, and we would love to sort of know who is getting involved. Is it families of all different age? What's sort of the age demographic that are of the people that are actually getting involved in growing these gardens?
Well, we'll probably know better what we did was it went out. Of course, like I said, the first 6,000 people were confirmed on the program.
Amazing.
And then we do a follow-up email with them coming back, so we'll get a better sense of who they actually are. But my thoughts are it's everybody, because we've got a very large multicultural society in Brampton.
Love
so
that.
I think it's everybody getting involved, from seniors to youth to people that may have done it in their home country of home. So
yeah, beautiful. Love it.
Now, Councillor Whillans, I personally don't have a green thumb, but quickly, you've made this wonderful initiative so much easier. And I was reading online that you've actually included tutorials for first-time gardeners.
Yes, we have. We've got ours. Like I say, our staff are fantastic. We've got some of the. I have a horticultural degree, so I started off in the City of Brampton actually as a gardener, and then moved my way up into the private sector. But again, full circle came back around. But our staff are probably some of the best horticulturists I've seen. So they are very good at getting simple messages out. The message we've been sending out is start small. Don't take on too much, because gardening I've got a big garden and it's a lot of work.
We've
It's a
seen
lot
your
of
garden.
work.
It's beautiful.
We've got pictures and we're going to
Beautiful.
show our
So
viewers. Yes.
It's a lot of work. So I think the biggest key is to have people start small. The mayor's wife, Gigi, is actually going to start a garden this year. She's excited about it. So I've encouraged her to start small, get used to it, see if you enjoy it. And you can produce a lot of vegetables in a small garden. So you don't have to go big. So I think it's for people who don't have a green thumb, that's the best way to do it. Grow the simple things like lettuce. Tomatoes are very easy to grow. Radishes, some of the root vegetables are very simple. It's less maintenance. So,
well, you know, Councillor Whillans, how much I believe in preventative health and being better together as a community. And food is medicine. And so to not only allow us to be physically distancing from one another, but doing something that has a massive impact on the health and well-being of individual residents in our community at large. I just want to thank you for the way that you think and then mobilizing. Can you just because we only got a couple of minutes left here, could you briefly tell us, I know you've now inspired other municipalities to hop on board. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was interesting. I guess it was probably the following Monday after we started the program, I got a call from Ottawa. They're interested in starting a program up there. I got a call from Barrie. We got a call from Perry Sound, Greater Sudbury. We got calls from Miramichi, New Brunswick, from Winnipeg.
Wow.
And also through social media, I was contacted by folks out in the West Coast in Vancouver. So it's going national, which is a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Yeah, when we started the program, we said, let's share it with everybody. Mm-hmm. I jokingly said to the people from Ajax, I said, we're sharing with everybody but Mississauga.
Well, we just, on behalf of our whole Better Together as One team here and TV Cogeco, we want to thank you for coming on and for the program that you're doing. We're going to do our best to share this and to get other communities on the bandwagon of helping to mobilize backyard gardens. I love what you're doing. Thank you for joining us on today's show.
Thank you for having me.
Stay safe and stay well, my friend.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Better Together as One. You know, one of the things that we're committed to doing here on this podcast is sharing inspirational stories of everyday people that will help to elevate all of us. And so we're really excited on our first show to share this very special story with this very special someone. Now, I think it's really appropriate that the introduction be done by Claire Gavin, because when you hear who this special person is, you're going to understand why. So Claire, why don't you introduce this lovely lady?
Thank you, Margaret. Well, we're super excited. Obviously, this is our first show, and I'm incredibly honored that I'm going to have one of the most amazing people in my life for sure to share this little part of a segment with us. My mom, Margaret Gavin, is going to be sharing something that she has been doing within this COVID time that's been incredibly impactful and important. So everyone, welcome Margaret Gavin. Welcome, Mom. Hello. Thank you for sharing this lovely time with us. So if you could, Mom, maybe just talk to us a little bit about what you've been doing. You've sewn for many, many years. You used to sew my clothes and Joanne's clothes when we were little. But if you can maybe talk a little bit about what you've been doing in this COVID time, that would be wonderful.
Okay, well, it started because I was feeling low and it was hitting me that they kept telling me I was in the elderly category. And my daughter Joanne saw something on Facebook about making masks, and she said, "Mom, you can do this." And I thought, I can make a few masks, not a problem. So I don't know how many masks I've made, and scrub caps and scrub bags, but they just keep coming in and I just keep sewing. And I did keep a tally at first, but now I haven't kept up to date because I figure one mask I made is one other person protected. So I just keep doing them that way. It's Canada Sews, and it started by a young couple, and now it's right across Canada. And this area, Hamilton Halton, has produced and delivered 10,000 masks. Across Canada, we're over 90,000. Excuse me. And there are 49,000 in the process of being made and to be delivered. So
Amazing.
it's it's nice to be a small cog in a huge wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Margaret, what I love about what you just said, not only because how selfless of you to take your time and one of your talents, but I loved how you talked about the fact that you were starting to feel down and scared yourself. And you turned that around. You know, this show is about showing and helping to elevate one another and take control of our own health and well-being. And I love the fact that you decided, and of course with your daughter's help, to take control of a tough situation and do something where you can contribute. So thank you. You know, from all of us, we just want to thank you for the work that you're doing to help so many people stay safe during this time. It makes me actually tearful. It really, really does. It makes me tearful. It's awesome.
Thank you, Margaret. My girls are my biggest cheerleaders. It's just me. I just do it, and I love sewing. So I'm quite happy. I'm in my happy room when I'm in my sewing room.
And Mom, you know, I want you to sort of just share a little bit too, because there's the sewers in this, as well as the people that are also delivering the product, because you've got it. There's quite a system, right? That takes place. Yeah. Can you share just a little bit about that with us?
Absolutely. There's the cutters, and then they bring those things to the sewers. The sewers deliver them to UPS stations where they get picked up. They're taken to the washers, who wash them and package them up, and then they get delivered to the different areas. So that's why I say I'm a small cog in a big wheel, and it's run really, really well.
Oh my gosh, if that doesn't speak, how perfect for our first show, Better Together as One. If that doesn't exemplify what we are talking about, that everyone has a role to play in the health and well-being of our communities and of our residents. That is so cool. I didn't realize, Claire, that it was a big production like that. That is such an inspiring story.
Really quite something. Yeah, for sure. You know, the other thing too, I just want to mention, because I know, you know, we don't have a lot of time, but Mom, I just want you to speak. One thing that people don't know about my mom is that she suffers chronically with arthritis. She has osteoarthritis and she has RA as well. So it's important for her to keep her hands moving. So she's put her little business aside. She's got this beautiful business called Keen's Creations, and we'll make sure we have that set up for people to see what she's doing. Mom, talk just sort of really briefly about what it is that you do now that you're retired, along with your sewing that you've set aside, but now you're getting back to doing that now.
Oh, my other sewing?
Your other sewing.
My other sewing, my baby bears?
Yes. Yeah, your little bears.
These are memory bears. They are made from anything from baby's onesies to grandpa's old shirt. And they're just memory bears and memory pillows, and it's the most rewarding. Makes me cry when I think about it. It's just wonderful. It brings something tangible to people when they've lost somebody, and they can hug it. And exactly, Margaret. Exactly. Yes.
You know what? A good friend of mine, when my father passed 4 years ago, my dad was a huge role model, and I adored him. And when I lost him, and losing a parent is so difficult, my girlfriend called my mother and asked for one of my dad's old shirts. And it says, "This is the shirt I used to wear. Wherever you hold it, know I am there. Love, Dad."
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, just know the work you're doing makes a massive impact on people that have lost someone. So what a great story. What a way to kick off the show. I mean, it's show one and I'm crying. Seriously.
It wouldn't be a TV show if we weren't crying.
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Exactly.
As long as we laugh as well.
For sure.
Indeed.
For sure. So, Mom, thank you so much for coming on and you know, celebrating and doing all that you do. It's her granddaughter's, my youngest daughter's birthday today. Gracie's 17. So, you know, you not only sew, but you also bake, and you've baked some beautiful special gluten-free things for her as well.
Butterfly cakes.
Gluten-free butterfly cake. So she's always giving, and she's always giving back. And from that, I am incredibly honored to have you on the show. We all are. We were very excited to have you on, Mom. So thank you so much for all that you do and for all the inspiring work that you continue to do for the community.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you for asking me to join you all, and good luck with all the future shows.
Thank you
Mom.
I'll be
so
watching.
much. You bet.
Love you.
You bet. Well, you have certainly set the standard for the inspirational stories that we're going to share here on Better Together as One. This has been such a great first show, and Todd and Claire and I cannot wait to continue to share stories to educate, empower, and inspire you to live well at every age and stage of life, but to always remember, whether it's during COVID or not, that we are better together as one. So on behalf of our team and the team at TV Kojiko, stay safe, stay well, and until next time, remember, we're better together as one.